Hello, everyone. It is Friday again. It came quick, at least for me. So we'll see how many folks we will have here today. I will tell you a little bit about Exocad. You probably already know it in and out, but maybe there's a couple of people which are not knowing it. There's always new followers we have, new people which are buying equipment, and not everybody knows it. And today we're going to look at, as you saw at the intro, maybe tone the music down just here. As you saw in the intro, we're going to look at the implant module today. So what's new in the Rijeka version? You see on the screen here, I basically took the demo case and made a mirror. There's a couple of things different in Rijeka. I'm sure there is like a way of making a change to the config to get that out of the box to mirror again like I'm used to in Galway, but I haven't really looked into it. So I'll show you what's different in case you're using Rijeka, how you can go to export mode, how to still mirror, what kind of options there are, what differences we have in between a custom abutment, what's called a Screwmentable, usually around the technicians. So basically a manual screw channel positioning without a scan body, using a stock abutment or something what you have customized, and then basically making a crown on top with a hole in it. It does require the implant module, making a hole through the restoration. If using the attachment tool, does require the implant module, but that's all fair. What else? We're not looking into full edge cases, anything crazy here today. I just basically want to give you an overview of what the module does, what kind of options you have with it, maybe make a quick design here, and be here for questions. And talking about questions, I'm going to try and peek at the chat. So if there is chat messages, you can basically chat right in the Facebook groups, or I believe on LinkedIn. Some of the Facebook stuff came through the last time, so that seemed to have worked great. And if everything fails, I usually look right after to see what kind of comments were there. And if I haven't answered a question there, I'll try to message you, whatever social media platform you picked. And of course, there is, let me look, the number right there. So you can text 855 CADCAM1 or 855-223-2261. And go to our website, check out what we have there. We're a reseller for digital equipment, so focusing on that. We have some analog things, we have some standing base kits, we have both light curing and porcelain basically. We got some polishing kits, etc. There is some analog items, of course, involved in digital, but we're trying to focus on digital. So we all love Exocad here. I'm not making a secret out of it. Exocad's awesome. They also make good T-shirts. Thank you, Larry. And well, Exocad's amazing, and that's what I learned and grew up on. In case, by the way, I know there might be some folks watching at my group on North America. To my peeps which are using Ceramil, if you're seeing something in here what's not in your Ceramil version, there's usually a way of enabling that. So you can reach out to me. The Screwmentable, this manual positioning, is actually quite simple stuff to enable that. So if you struggle with any of that, preferably if you're in the US, just feel free to reach out. Shoot a text message over. Ask for Richard. So this is a business text number, yes, but I will eventually also read those. And yeah, you can always email me in the worst case, richard@opera.cacam.com. So today, software, not anything else. And I will start this case over here for you. So what are we looking at? We, and I'm going to open the chat window. I think there is a message here. Yes. There is a question. Hi, Matt. Can you make a stackable guide in Exoplan? Oh, well, you can, but it's not. It's a little unofficial, I guess. And I also have to play with that quite a bit. I have a couple of friends which I know have already done those, and I want to catch up with some of those. One of them is actually making trainings, and I already reached out. I just haven't heard back from him. I want to partake in his training and see what I can learn. All right. So today, plain and simple, this is one of the demo cases. We try to, when we're installing Exocad, we are already incorporating everything in here. So you see that there's already the implant planning available here, and the partial would eventually be available, etc. Methods integrated, also integrated, and comes in one package, and that includes the demo cases. And so this is one of the demo cases here. Some of them have in the notes little links basically in there. You have to copy paste them. They're not clickable, but you can basically then watch a YouTube video from Exocad themselves, and they're quite helpful. If you don't know the wiki yet, go to the wiki, use it. So click on the question mark somewhere, and then it gets you to your wiki. It tells you how to fill out everything. And you can, if we go up here on the wiki, go to the index of topics in English, and then videos for beginners, introduction, reference, bow module, implant module. So there we go. Implant module, what is up with that? First step, choose implant type, blah, 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 blah. So really step by step, guiding you through, showing you how to make thimbles, wrap around, implant bridge. So really useful stuff up there. I know us technicians, we usually don't look at manuals. Thankfully, some of you guys look at videos. That's why I'm here. I'm not a great reader of manuals. I kind of skim over it, I got to admit. But yeah, those resources are fantastic to have. All right, I am actually not going to change a bunch on this setup. I just want to show you what is here. We have a coping selected right here. I hope you can see my mouse. And there is zirconia selected. It is on custom abutment manual positioning. I want to show you that. Screw retained manual positioning is available, and substructure is available, blah, blah, blah. And you can further down here select scan body scan if you have that, scan body in main scan, so that Exocad would then automatically subtract the scan marker, the scan body from your scan data. Or if you say don't use scan body, which is the selection here, you're doing that manual positioning. And I want to talk a little bit about libraries today, and I thought this option especially is good to demo and show, because there are situations where things get a little iffy, they get a little screwed up. You have a case plan there, the case plan has a due date, the case has to leave, and if you haven't been there, you eventually will be at some point. You think you are doing everything right, you're making your homework, you're looking into, does my doctor have the correct scan body? Maybe you're even providing scan bodies. I've heard some people doing that, scan bodies to your doctor to make sure that they're using the right kind, and that your life is going to be easier. And don't misunderstand me. I would always recommend you to use a scan body if you have the option to do that. It's just more accurate, it's easier, it's works out of the box. But there are situations where I found myself in, and I've seen friends and lab owners found themselves in, where you got the library after you figured out, oh, there's actually 3 libraries, at least, sometimes even more. So you basically go to the website, you enter all the information, you download it from Exocad preferably, and I want to mention that Riaka really makes this easy, that you can start the library manager from your design. It will bring you basically to the same website. It looks the same, but if you download it through that, you don't have to copy paste your download number. It's already in there. You just fill in the information, and it actually unzips it and puts it in the correct spot where it needs to be. I've made mistakes. I've seen people make mistakes that somehow the implant library was in the subfolder, so somewhere where it doesn't belong. And I don't want to go into the nitty gritty right now where they go, but they're basically inside of Exocad and DentalCAD app in the library folder implant. That's where they go. Um, the library tool, the library manager tool, does that basically for you, and that's the way to go. But I found myself still in situations then when even using the Exocad library, there's two. Maybe we weren't aware of that, but we're in the US and we're using the FDA regulated library, and there's also outside US library. There's eventually a third option, which is hosted not by Exocad, but hosted by the implant manufacturer themselves. So you might design your case, you might order the part from your rep, the part shows up, and then you're realizing, oops, somehow that part looks vastly different than what I had designed in my CAD. How did that happen? And you're looking at things, you're trying to figure out how did you miss that? Um, Stuff happens like that. Maybe your window is now too short to return the part. You can do that later, but to order another part in and get that basically all taken care of that way. So your quicker solution is to change your design really quick. And I want to show that because it is really a nice option that you can go in and do that and change the library. And if worse comes to worse, if you can't find the correct library, I even then had, if these three options haven't worked, I then had libraries which friends gave me where they're like, ah, yeah, I know about that problem. Call somebody up or whatever. I'm stuck here and there. Do you know you do those implants all the time, right? Yeah, yeah. I got a library for you. Where do you get it from? I got it from the rep somehow, and it's an unofficial version, but it comes from them, and it's getting sometimes a little messy. And I guess that's exactly the point why Exocad is trying to make this all a little easier and streamline this. And it's not the norm, but it will possibly happen too. And then, worst case scenario, you can treat the part which now came in the mail, where you can't figure out what your library is for. You can scan it with, yes, you have to spray it, and yes, it's not as accurate as if it was done with scan body, but you get the case done, and you can actually still customize the part. The other reason could be the part is all correct and it fits all well, and you are maybe realizing, oops, there's no room available. What am I going to do? You're maybe starting making phone calls with your doctor and warning them, hey, I need to modify that. The minimum thickness in the implant library may not allow you to go below that. So a good way of getting around this is basically treating your tie base like a crown and bridge case, if you want so. And then using that, don't use scan body here, manual positioning as a way out, because now you get to grind on your tie base on the top only, of course. Don't grind on your connection geometry, please. But you get to modify it, you get to adjust it to the point what it needs it. It's hopefully still structurally sound enough that it supports your case. And you spray it, you scan it, and use the manual positioning, and you call it a day, and it's Friday, and you get to go home into the weekend instead of working on a Saturday. All right, so I'm not going to really change this. I also am not going to change coping into full contour. I want to show you how to switch this over. So let's go design. And load scan data only. I'm not going to load the previously done tooth model. Let me get rid of the caption here so you can hopefully see. I know the screen is a little smaller, etc. But you can hopefully still see what's going on. I guess I can also take myself off. wraps this up for me. It's 1:53 Eastern. For you guys at the West Coast, unfortunately, you have to hold up for a little bit longer. But here, for me, that means a lunch break and then just another push, getting a couple of things done, and then the weekend's here. So you guys enjoy it. Please make use of the chat. Feel free to drop wherever you're watching this in the comments, whatever other things you would like to watch, if you want to be a guest on it, or if you have questions about some of the equipment, materials, and software we sell at Abutments. I'm going to bring in really quick the captions here one more time. Go visit our website, abutmentcadcam.com. Text or call us 855-CADCAM1 or 855-223-2261. And let's chat about what you need. One major point maybe to say, if you're a customer of Opulent, we do offer 24/7 support. And yeah, we all have lives, and we appreciate it if you're not abusing it, but we do that because it sucks if you are on a case and you're stuck somehow or somewhere and you would like to pull your hair out. I used to have a full head before I started being a dental technician anyway. So if you have somebody who you can text where others are not available anymore, I think that's something where we are really standing out. And well, I would like to invite you into the family. Come to Opulent. And now take care, guys. Have a good weekend.